Facebook friends. Hey,
Hi there. Good morning.
how are you?
Doing okay.
We are already live on the Facebooks. I mean, on the YouTubes. We are already
Excellent.
on the Facebooks. I mean, on the YouTubes. And what I was just doing, I didn't know who was going to come on, was I was just about to share this onto my Facebook and ask my lovely Facebook friends um to, if they're even slightly curious about AI,
Okay.
just to like and share and repost or do that kind of stuff. I think we need to do some of that stuff. So
Excellent.
um and now that I've done that, what I was going to do if I was all by myself was I was going to just run everyone through how I put the office hours deck together, the presentation,
hmm
because I didn't do it. So I was like, I might as well just do that.
Show how we did it via AI.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds great.
So what I'm doing here, um, let's do that. Okay. So I should be seeing my Claude screen. So in Claude, what I've got is I've got a folder which I call the HGen AI office hours. Um, and that folder just lives on my machine. But
hmm
what I do in that folder is I can put in, documents and templates, and that way um, when I ask it to do anything for its Gen office hours, it will do it knowing all of this stuff. So I think what I should do is I should actually set up a scheduled task. I'll do that afterwards, actually, because I was just doing this. I was doing the deck. So create, that's the socials, update, it's this one. Okay. So I said, oh, I need a deck. And the deck that it pulled up was week 6, which was last week. This is week 7,
hmm
continuous, 7 weeks running. Um, and so what we're going to do is so it's now asking me um, what I want the deck to be. So we're going to not continue with Mythos. I think we're done with that. Community build session. Oh, actually, I know what I want it to do is I want it to make sure that there is page for the latest news in AI focused on Gen X plus the build. Which template should you use? Use the master template because what I noticed was the template that it was using was needed correcting. So I just uploaded the latest template, the latest PowerPoint template. And while it's doing that, it's creating all of the stuff. Ray, what's new in your AI world this week?
Well, wanted to kind of delve into just people, regular business owners who are concerned about their employees using just AI in general
Like
on their
shadow
land.
AI,
Pardon me?
shadow AI.
Not so much shadow AI, but even using AI in the office on their own land networks, right? And their own networks. And if there's, I don't know how they're instructing their employees, or is there a
Hmm.
way to keep tabs on them, or if they're doing shadow AI. I scratching the surface, and I don't know what that looks like. So
Okay,
how,
so let's make that a thing.
okay.
What I would like you to do is to include a page, include a slide because we're doing decks. Slide on shadow AI as it applies to small, medium, and large businesses. Uh, um, uh, Create it as a discussion slide, in the appendix, include a what should what should small slash medium, because the large guys are, we think, relatively in front of it ish. Um, what small slash medium companies can do, like a checklist almost. Yeah. So it's now going to do that. All right. So let's talk about that for a second. So shadow AI. Um, are you talking, what from your perspective is first of all the concern? Is it a data concern? Is it a productivity concern? All of the above?
It's losing, yes, data concern and
Mhm.
infiltration of something you don't want within your data, within your systems,
Right. Okay.
that someone could be bringing in unbeknownst to themselves. I mean, you have someone not versed on AI, and
Yeah.
how do you protect a company with 10 employees and $1 million in revenue?
Right. So, I mean, it, it's kind of, I kind of, the analogy that I've been using for a really long time, I taught my kids data classification.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because
Wow.
my kids are like my sounding board for stuff like this. But we spoke about data classification because it came up, you know, I have some pretty high clearance for some of the things I've done. Um, and we were talking about it. And I was talking about, the lie detector test and all that good stuff. And they said, "Well, Daddy, why do you need to do that?" And I said, "Well, just in case the bad guys find the data that Daddy has, right? Or Daddy can get to." They said, "But what does that mean?" And I said, "Well, if you're playing outside out at the front of the house and the garage is open, and one of your buddies that lives down the street says, "Oh, can I get a ball from your garage?" You're likely to say yes, right? So that's like one classification zone, the garage. But then if that same person brought a friend round that you didn't know and wanted to use the bathroom, that would mean that they would need to go from the garage into the house. Would you let them into the house? And they said, maybe if we went with them." I said, "Oh, so you would escort them to the bathroom?" I said, "But then let's say that that same friend wanted to go upstairs. Would you let them go upstairs to your bedrooms?" It's like, "No." Okay, great. Well, what if what if one of Daddy's friends came round and Daddy told his friend that the in my office is a spare keyboard or whatever. Would you let that person go upstairs? Or only if you were with them, Daddy? Well, what would you say if that person then went from my office into like Mummy and Daddy's bedroom? Oh no, we wouldn't want that. So I literally broke down data classification as if we were talking about a house. And I've always kind of seen classification of data and systems as that. Like, would you want people to know where your safety deposit key is for your right? Like where you keep your passports and your birth certificates? No, probably not. So you keep that in a safe place, and then you classify zones within your house accordingly. So I think like as we think about AI and as we think about tech in general, there is a the same method applies. So if you want to create let me just bring up an scan. Okay, so let's do this while it's doing the presentation. Okay, so let's say that this is my company. Let's keep it consistent, right? This is our company.
Mhm.
And what we want to do is in our company, we've got data. Let's break data down by um, our our data, and this could be our like sales data, it could be marketing, could be our strategic plans, all that kind of right, it's sensitive
Mhm.
stuff. And then let's say that we also have client data. Well, I can tell you something for nothing. Our clients would not want our data going just here, there, and everywhere, right?
Yeah.
But then we've got also public data, right? And public data is stuff that I can find on the internet, stuff that's on our website. So it's already out there. So now what I've got to do is I've got to essentially create, oh, excuse me, I've got to create some sort of like structure or like priority level for these. So public data, you know what? You can take it anywhere you want, like whatever. Great. Client data. God, if the client data got out, that's our
Mhm.
reputation right down the toilet. We don't really want that. So we make that red. Our data. Like some of it's really sensitive, some of it's not. It's going to be, for example, because I would actually classify it red, but let's just to keep it like nice and easy. Okay. So now if I've got like at the data level, data layer, right? I've got these three data classifications, if you will.
Mhm.
Well, now I've got on top of the data layer, my data has to live on technology, right?
Mhm.
Now that technology could be on my desk, right? As you know, I've got my four Mac Minis on my desk. I do a bunch of stuff on my desk and it doesn't actually leave the desk, right? And then I've got we use various cloud providers. So Claude, for example, AG, Claude. And then I have another set of technology, and let's just call that like not my tech, right? It could be my kids, it could be my wives, it could be like something else that I'm not using. Well, now if I have my actually no, let's change cloud providers. I'm gonna make this like Google, Office 365, etc. Right? It's like our actual where do we keep data, etc. Our emails and whatnot. Okay. So now if you think about what I've just done here, I've created a like a we call it a classification framework. So if hmm, so let's see what your cyber skills are after hanging out with me for a few weeks, right? If I've got two yellows, what color do I want that box to be?
Oh gosh, I mean, red, right? We don't want our,
Well, so
yeah,
let me break that down for you.
okay,
All right, I'm gonna give you let's make it a little kind of game here.
okay,
Okay. So we're talking about AI,
yep,
and we've got um AI provider that is defense, that is government certified. What does that mean? That means it's really expensive.
hmm
It's that is an estate enterprise. Difficult to set up contracts for uptime. There's contracts for resilience, support, and data security. Okay? So that's like my first AI provider. Now what I do, there you go. Now I'm going to create another AI provider, and this AI provider is um, mm, 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 AI provider that is open source, which means it's really cheap, which means that can be set up locally on your machine. May not have a service level agreement. And then I have a third one that is AI provider that is commercial and in cloud. It's a little bit more expensive than this one. Can be set up locally or in cloud. Has an SLA. You know what SLA means, right? It's service level agreement.
hmm
So now these are my three oh, and actually I'm going to throw in a curveball for you. AI provider that is commercial and in cloud that is free. Commercial and in cloud. Free. Only in cloud. So you could think of this as like a free Chat GPT or a free Gemini, right? Like could be any of those. Um, as a use SLA. Let me throw in one more thing because this is important. Does not use your data to train models.
Interesting.
Cannot use your data to train models. Have the option to allow data to train models. All data trains models. So let's say that you're the tech leader, business owner of said company, right? It's Jen. And I am not as technical as I seem today. And I come to you and I say, hey, Ray, I've got this idea, right? Which I might have said once or twice. Got this crazy idea, but I just need to do some research. I've got like my kid's iPhone with me. Can I use it if if and the idea is for like finance. I just need to do some quick research. Can you send me like last year's profit and loss statement so that I can have a look at that and use that?
And you're on your, well, iPhones are pretty good.
I'm on my kid's machine.
Yeah. I would say no.
Right? Why?
I don't have any knowing of what your, what AI or what websites or what public sites your child goes on,
Okay.
right?
So, but then if you said to me, if I then asked you the same question, I said, well, actually, can I do it using our company's machine?
Our company's computer.
Yeah, our company's computer, and we use Google. So I'm going to use our Google account. I'm going to use AI that's provided by the company.
Okay, you're using AI that's provided by the company on our own machines.
Hmm.
I would say yes.
Okay. Well, so let's say that that's this one for a second, right? Let's say that that's this one for a second. If you look at the option here, right?
Hmm.
Have the option to allow. So what does the administrator of like the AI that our company use need to do? They need to make sure that our data is used or not used to train models.
Well, if you're, the question was, I just want to, oh, you want to develop some ideas. So I would say allow it, not incognito in this case.
So
Not an incognito search, correct?
my recommendation is that anyone applying company data should make sure that their AI provider does not use that data to train models.
Okay.
And the reason why you don't want that is because that data could end up anywhere. Once you say allow data to be used, I mean, I wanted to be in an AI data center today to give that like visual, like this is not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on each side. Within each of these racks, there are tens, if not hundreds, of machines. And these AI models are putting data in and out of so many different systems that once you say to an AI provider, you can use my data, it could literally end up anywhere. Which means
Interesting.
that
Yeah.
if I inadvertently I could, right, if I was searching for, oh, I need an example profit and loss statement, I could get your profit and loss statement,
Oh,
right? Because the
wow.
data has to come
Oh,
from
oh,
somewhere.
yes. Okay. Yes.
Because that data has to come from somewhere.
I'm sure people are doing that too.
Yep. I mean, I've had an AI provider create a bio for me, and it came up with a last name that I'd never given it before. It said that my last name was completely different. I was like, where did you get that from? Like, I mean, that happened to me yesterday. I was like chatting to my bot, and it literally made something up. And I said, where did you get that from? So what we can do is, as small businesses or like people that work in small businesses or support them, is really,
And I would say a roofer doesn't know that, you know?
I would
I think that that
100% agree with
message
you.
is
I would 100%
invaluable.
agree with you. Yep. So I would turn off the option to allow the data to train models, right? So that you would like put there. So most people, you know, especially small businesses and having owned many small businesses, I get it. Cost is always a concern, but it doesn't have to be as expensive as people think it is. Like if for you to get the turn off option on ChatGPT, I think it's $20 a month. And the one thing that I would always recommend is that for every quarter, every few months, but whatever your kind of tolerance is, download your entire data set, delete that account and create a new account.
Every year?
I mean, I like to do it a bit more frequently than that, but
It sounds like, yeah. And
it,
my question to you is, so we're turning off the option to allow the data to train the models,
yeah.
but does that negate, is that like a backroom thing? Like, you know how let's say large language models,
Uh,
they start to know who you are. By
yep.
shutting that off, will it not be able to pull up my data from two months ago?
Oh no, so let me just show you in our Claude for a
So
second.
it's just not teaching the large language model. It's still keeping my data on the front,
Correct.
let's
Yeah.
say the front of the house.
So I'm in Claude here, right? And I go to my settings, and if I turn on privacy, if I opt, so now that I flip the switch, that I'm
Mhm.
helping train their models. So I turn it off, right? Um, and you can look
Okay.
at the kind of privacy settings, which are there, but the memory is all in here. It's like
Okay.
it's managed separately. So by you turning off the help the training of the models, your experience doesn't go down.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
And then, exporting the data, I recommend everyone do that. Everyone should do that at least once for all of your cloud accounts, like your Gmail, your Facebook, your Instagram, TikTok, what it doesn't matter. You have a cloud account, make sure you have at least one copy of that data,
Okay.
right? Because at the end of the day, it is your data. It's amazing what people put in their data. Um, so going back to our there you go. So staying on the let's call it the data classification game. So if I am now testing out, so let's say client data for um, solution prototype. So what I'm doing is I've been asked by a client to create an AI solution, and that AI solution it doesn't have to be um, available around the clock. It's just like we're just testing something out. Which of these three AIs that I now have left do you think?
So we're testing a client data for a solution, correct?
We're testing the client data, but it's not mission critical. It doesn't have to be available 24/7. We're just trying to do a proof of concept.
Oh gosh, we have their data. Okay. Oh,
We already have the data, yeah.
I would say the one in the middle because we can set it up locally on our own machine.
Ding, 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 ding.
So not to compromise the data, right?
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's it. That, Reagan, is the correct answer. And we do that because we can test out the models, we can see what works, we can see what doesn't work, and do that with some level of assurance that that data is not going to go anywhere. Could it go somewhere? Absolutely. You know, people that have heard of OpenClaw and some of those other AI automation tools.
Mhm.
There was let's see if I can bring it up. Just skills. So, so OpenClaw, which is the
Mhm.
AI model, it's an AI agent technology that you can run locally. What people were doing was actually creating malicious skills. So you can go like a skill is something that you give your agent. So for
Mhm.
example, like web design, right? So you can
Mhm.
copy all of these things and you can tell your AI agent, like, I want you to have these skills. Okay, great.
Right.
But what people were doing was actually creating malicious skills
Uh-oh.
that
Yeah.
people would download, and then they would use the malicious skills to exfiltrate API keys or cryptocurrency wallets or
Mhm.
like other credentials. So um, even if something is local, it doesn't mean that it's fully safe. You still got to take some precautions around it. Um, but it's knowing what, like I have four machines for a reason, right? Um, so that I can keep certain things isolated and I don't have to worry about, oh, this one's got my kids' pictures and that one's got my Robin Hood account, or that one's got my this, or that one's got,
Mhm.
I don't need to think about that and just say, okay, yeah, give it permission, offer you permission. But then even my network has a firewall. I can see things going in and out. My wife just got a new computer, for example, from her workplace. Just got delivered, and I got a notification on my phone saying, "New device added to network. Do you allow the device?" Yes, I do. Thank you very much. So yeah, we've still got to take some precautions. Um, so leaving you with the last one. What do you think?
And in your travels, and I don't know if I'm getting off topic, tell me to hold it for later. But some of the businesses you've talked to, does this come up in conversation?
Yeah, so we had a very interesting conversation with someone in the insurance industry recently whose founding executive was very anti-AI for this very reason. And we spoke in some depth about how we could help them think about a model or a framework like this that doesn't have to be overly complex. It just needs to be applicable enough to their industry. So, in the consulting world, we used to say, what's the news headline that you wouldn't want your mother reading,
Hmm.
right? Like what would your clients say if everything on this machine ended up on the internet, right? How would Apple feel if their next iPhone release ended up, right? Like it's almost like what's your crown jewels, and then what are you willing to do to protect it? So when people, and I've again been in the industry for a while, when people say I've got nothing to hide, so I say, why don't you leave your doors unlocked then? Why'd you lock your car? Why'd you lock your house when you leave your house? If you've got nothing to hide, leave it open. Why'd you have a passcode on your phone? Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It just follows the same analogy, right? Same thought process. So come and finish us off then, Ray.
Okay.
Last box here. Which AI provider do we think we need for public data? So what we're going to do is we're going to like create we're going to give you the use case. Create uh, word cloud from Team's favorite foods.
Yeah. That obviously could be a free AI.
Right? Because we don't we don't
Yeah.
we don't care. Like I like spaghetti and you like
Right.
macaroni and cheese, whatever, whatever. Um,
But so Joe, Mr. Johnny Roofer
yeah,
has 10 employees, five of them are roofers. One's an admin who also does social media,
okay.
and you've got some information, insurance information in there, obviously from clients,
Hmm.
who their value of their house, situation of why the roof, the when they, because they do ask for that, like who your
Yeah,
insurance agent is, I mean, who your insurance company is, why
sure.
you've been denied, blah, blah, blah. How do you convey to them when you have your admin who's probably been with the company 40 years, right? And she's getting into Claude or ChatGPT to, can there be can there be security issues for his data?
Yeah, but they can't obviously nothing is impenetrable. Nothing, right? Yeah, I used to say back in the day, the only way that you can keep your data safe is by taking it out of the hard drive, taking the hard drive out of the machine and burying the hard drive in concrete. That's the only way that you can keep it safe. and smash it up first, right? Before you bury it in concrete. And then you know it's really safe. No one can get to it, including you. So there comes a you've got to find a and strike a balance between usability and security. And so if you've got your admin that um, may not be as familiar with certain technologies, maybe either you can do one of a couple of things. You can either, sandbox and say, when you're doing AI stuff, because you're not sure, do it on this machine because this machine has got not a lot of data on it. And then you can do whatever you want. Almost like my scenario, I've got multiple
Mhm.
machines on the desk. But or you could flip it around the other way and say, okay, so some people don't have the luxury of, multiple machines on their desk, but every computer supports multiple identities. So what you could do is you can create I like to call it a dirty account, right? And by creating a dirty account on your machine, if you want it to be like extra safe, you would just give that dirty account like no access to any of the internal files, no access to the email, no access to the finance records, no access to
Yes.
market. And then just, I on my machine, I can, I have a Mac, I can literally click on two buttons and I can log into another account on the same machine. So it's not overly complex. I have a fingerprint reader. I can't remember passwords. I can't remember passwords either. I use my fingerprint reader, like boom, there you go. Right? So there are things that we can do. There are approaches that we can take. I
Okay.
think it just comes down to we have to just work out like what our tolerance is, you know, the so what methodology, right? So what then is like your data goes out on the internet. So what then? Like, do you care? Do you not care? If you do care, then it's probably beholden on you to like care a little bit before something happens
Mhm.
rather than after.
Okay.
You know, same three scenarios, same three or four scenarios. Would you want your mother reading it or your closest, nearest, dearest relative? Would you want your client seeing that information? And would you want your nearest competitor seeing that information? Like if you think about just those three scenarios,
Hmm.
that should tell you how much importance is applied to that data.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. We definitely we date I did not think that we would be touching data classification today.
Oh, you did. But
And
I
that's
liked how you laid it out for a layperson like myself. Like a door, you brought me through the stages. Then the Excel draw was great because I was able to understand probably a fairly complex topic. I mean, somewhat, I don't know, I mean, again, for a regular person in the world. Thank
yeah,
you.
it's I mean, and that's really why I kind of love having this office hours. Because it's just an opportunity just to free flow. And talking of free flow, I'm gonna pause here for just a quick second. Um, I want to just announce that I have just scheduled another HGen office hours, but this time we're going to be focused strictly on SOC 2 compliance, and all things related to SOC 2 because there'll be a new HGen SOC 2 offering that's coming out today. So I should have a little
Okay,
thing, but I
excellent.
don't have that. So this is my version of that.
Excellent.
Um,
Fantastic.
yeah, should be exciting.
Very.
So I'm gonna whiz through this because we got 10 minutes left. Okay. Um, some news of the week.
Hmm.
Google's investing $40 billion in Anthropic, which means Claude
With a B.
with a B. Yeah. 53% of Gen X using AI at work. That means 47% aren't.
And that
Um,
goes to the question of um, what measures are put in place to protect the data.
right.
Interesting. Yep.
Seriously. The new Opus 4.7, I can tell you, actually, my Jen and I were having a conversation yesterday, and I said, I've been chatting to my bots, and she said, "How do you find time to chat to your bots? Like, don't you have a day job kind of thing?" And I said to her, I was like, "Well, I have four machines, and on each one of these machines, I'm typically doing two or three things." So right now, I'm probably operating at, if I'm not operating at like 200 or 300%, I'm just not operating. Might as well just like be asleep at that point. So yeah, people definitely need to take advantage of it. Musk has got an AI open lawsuit. I know nothing about it, so I can't tell you anything about it. All right, what happened this week? Oh, there you go. Look at that. Elon Musk took the stand, $130 billion.
Huh, wow.
Wow. I
Wow.
mean, that's some time on your hands, I think, right? Like,
130
and
billion. I mean,
arguing that the company betrayed its non-profit mission. I mean, that's
okay.
that's you gotta have some time on your hands to do that. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. Let's see what else. Gen X and AI, how we're different what data says. So 53% using AI, but 36% using standalone tools. So that speaks to your
Yes.
um, shadow AI, right? And then trust and transparency.
Yep.
Maybe that's a topic. So if anyone is watching this after the fact, put a comment in, do a like and share, and all of those things. Us Gen Xers aren't really good at this whole like and share thing, but please like, please share. Makes the world a difference. Makes me turn up every week. Shadow AI, it impacts everyone, right? It really does. Enterprise, small, not. Um, we have 10 minutes, right? I want to let you
Yes.
take the floor. Actually, one thing that I do want to throw in before we just before I hand over to you, I asked AI to create a checklist for SMBs.
Hmm.
And what I'm going to do is I don't like what it's done here, so I'm going to rework this. But if anyone wants the Shadow AI checklist, please comment Shadow AI checklist or checklist in the comments, either on Facebook or on YouTube, and I will get that over to you ASAP. Right.
That's a good checklist or something we could maybe even post online.
Yeah, yeah. I think I'll do something
Yeah,
online. I'll do an infographic or something on that.
that would be great.
Yeah. Actually, have you seen Claude Design?
No, you talked about it. I haven't
Oh,
jumped in there yet.
let's do that together then
Okay.
while we're here. I mean, why not, right? Obviously, unless you want to talk about something else.
No, that's perfect. That would be perfect.
Okay, so I have been having the world of fun with Claude Design. So, okay. So Claude Design, for anyone that doesn't know, is a research preview, which means it's not publicly available, or it's not available in the apps or on the phone or anything. It's only available on Claude.ai/design. And I think you have to have a pro subscription to use it, I think.
So when we run
Um,
that website, we can run it through there, correct? You would run that if we do that that
oh
landing
yeah, yeah.
page.
Well, let me show you what I'm about to do.
Okay. Okay.
So I what I've done is I have uploaded all of the ItchGen like design files and fonts and colors and styles and all of that stuff. Again, remember, I don't even draw stickmen well. And so what I can do now is I can say, I'm just going to shadow AI social media campaign. And I say, use the HGen.ai design system and I create. So then what I will say is, bum, 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 bum. Text 7, okay. Okay. So I'm just taking a screenshot of this and going to put that in here. And then I'm going to take the text that's in the bottom of that's in the checklist. And I'm going to say, here is a checklist we created. Can do that. So now what I'm going to say is, I'm going to throw it. You know me, Ray. I like to throw my AI as a bit of a curveball from time to time. So, also we have a framework called Direct, which is that. So what I would like you to do is create a full social media campaign around Shadow AI, the use of the dangers of the risks and how to prevent those risks for small and medium-sized businesses. I want it fully branded as ItchGen.ai. I want content for LinkedIn, for Facebook, for Twitter, maybe even an email marketing campaign and a downloadable checklist. And then using the framework provided, I'd like for you to create me a lead magnet in the form of an ebook that aligns to that particular framework. I don't know how much of this it's going to do, but I can tell you something. I'm not going to do it. It would be me that does it.
Did you throw in TikTok? I didn't catch that.
No, I'm not really a TikToker, so I didn't really
Okay.
TikTok it. Okay, so now what it's doing is it's going to read all of the. Okay, so confirm what direct stands for. Okay, or IP. Okay, I picked that up from another ebook that I've written. So let me just find it here. Direct framework. Okay, direct framework. So, style maybe. Okay, direct simplifies anything. Complex technical items into 6 actionable steps. There you go. Boom, 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 boom. So, let's see what else it's got. Okay. There you go. Primary audience. So let's say that and that. Oh, so should we do? Yeah, let's do both for mid-market. Okay. Tone balance on risk, mostly calm, peers, mix of open risk, close. Lean into the urgency. Oh, yeah, there you go. How much content do you want? Let's say, let's just decide for me. Confirm channels, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, email, download, and magnet. Let's do medium. What should the ebook cover include? There, that, that, everything. Is the checklist part of direct? It's just a direct. Yeah, there you go. Social formats. Do that, do that, do that. What do you emphasize? That direct questions, probably. Okay. How should I deliver the campaign? Decide for me, variants. Decide for me. You are live on our office hours and live on YouTube, and we have a minute and a half left to show that this is possible. Everything is branded. It's Gen.ai. And let's see what design does. So what I like about it is that I don't have to tell it what our colors are anymore. I don't have to
Mhm.
Ray, just give me a second, please. Sorry about that. There's certain calls that you can't not take. Yeah, okay. So, all right, it's still doing it. It's still doing it.
I mean, imagine what that used to take someone even three years ago.
Oh, you can't,
I mean, you have to hire
literally
an
can't.
agency, you'd have to find a social media person, and I just, what's it all going to look like?
And I think that's just the reality of where we're at, you know?
Yeah.
Um, and I think for the 47% of people that are not um are not embracing it, you know, please do. Please reach out. Please come to our office hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Scary. Like I mentioned to you yesterday, this isn't a get to, this is a have to.
yeah, exactly.
And I can't keep telling people, other than maybe my previous company that understands the immensity of it. I talk to just random people in general, and they're not.
Um, so I think this might take a minute and we're
Okay.
past the hour.
Okay.
So what I'll do is I'll start posting some of these things. I'm kind of excited to see what it throws up.
I'm very excited to see what kind of ebook it throws up, or what kind of uh,
Um,
e-class, if you will. I
it's-
would think that people would, even though we talked about training, I think people would be very interested in that.
there you go. Look at that.
Huh.
It's
Know
given
what
us
your team is uploading. Yep.
it's given us everything, or the whole content.
It took 8 minutes.
Isn't that
That's
amazing?
that's just, I can't, my head's gonna explode. No, that's nuts. That's just,
Ray, week 7
oh,
under the belt. Seven down, 77,000 to go. I love it. I love it. I love it. I
let's
love
just
it.
keep getting the information out there, and it will,
Yep, I love
who we
it.
can
Well,
help will, who we can help will help. That's the mission.
I think so. I think so. Well, it's
There's a
always a
there's a bigger
pleasure.
mission at play here, because I think people aren't prepared, and they're gonna be crying and upset and concerned, and just let's try to keep helping.
Great seeing you. I'm going to check out.
Okay, okay. I'll
Ray,
chat with you later,
I'll
okay?
speak